Benvenidos, mi amigos, and welcome to the program. Rich Herrera with you. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Hope everybody's having a day. It's kind of gloomy outside. Humidity starting to pick up. Storm clouds. We're officially in monsoon season, so you'll probably get a little bit of weather today, which is just fine because I washed my car, meaning that as soon as you wash your car, it immediately will rain this time of year. So, with that being said, if you're upset about the rain coming down, you could blame me because I washed my car on the way to work. So we've got a lot to get to on the program today. It is a special day around the National Basketball Association. The NBA Finals are done, although now I keep thinking about it. I wish they would have gone 7 games because I miss watching the Golden State Warriors kick the snot out of the Boston Celtics. It would have been wicked awesome to see them go a 7th game just to tear the hearts out of Boston one more time, but that's okay. We will just roll through anyway because tonight is the beginning of the professional careers for 3 Arizona Wildcats. Benedict Matthew, Jalen Terry, and Christian Coloco will hear these magic words that DeAndre Ayton heard not long ago when the commissioner of the National Basketball Association steps up to the podium and they say, let's go to the commissioner with the pick.
With the first pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton from Nassau, Bahamas, and the University of Arizona.
So tonight, where will these 3 be taken? We'll find that out. That's a big part of our program today. We've got that to look forward to and a couple other things. We got to update the brackets because we're in round 3. We're in the Sweet 16. For Tucson's Top Cat. And we're going to tell everybody you need to vote, you need to vote, you need to vote. Especially because we're taking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off from the program. We're having major construction. We're having a major overhaul here at 1290. So we're going to be off for a couple days as they completely renovate and upgrade our studios. It's going to be like Bar Rescue. They're going to be in here with construction crews and dudes in hard hats and plumbers' butt bending over in the studios. I got to say it. I'm going to see somebody's butt crack as they're cleaning everything and putting up new walls and new facilities and just changing everything over in the radio station. What? Why are you shaking your head at me, Dragon Ball?
I just don't like the idea of seeing plumbers butt crack in this situation. It's like there's no piping for them to be working on. So if there's if there's water pipes in this studio, I'd be concerned.
No, it's just a term when you have somebody whose britches fall down.
I know, but I also don't think that's going to be a thing either.
Oh, I'm fully going to shield my eyes. In fact, I'll probably stay away from this side of the building. They've got guys with cranes and construction crews, and they've got dumpsters over there. No, we're not going to be a huge dumpster fire, but they're going to be completely renovating everything inside, finally upgrading our studios. We've been waiting 2 years. They talked about this when I took the job to come back to Tucson. They said, hey, by the way, we're just about to install all new equipment, and we actually get to do it this week because of supply chain and like everybody else who's waiting for a new car or some kind of electronic equipment. We finally have everything in, so it's going to be 3 days that we'll be on a little mini vacation as they rehab the studios to bring you bring us upgraded facilities, and that way we could even present the University of Arizona games in a better way. So I'm pretty excited about that. So with that being said, you got to get in the brackets because I'm not going to be able to remind you Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Vote now. Vote now for Tucson's Top Cat. I'll update the brackets for you here coming up in just a moment. But right now, let's see what's rattling around in my big old head.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera.
And that's when things got bad.
And the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
All right, what's rattling around my big old size 8 head today? Lots. I'm wearing a baseball cap. We have all new lighting here. It actually makes me look sinister like Darth Vader.
It's got a little bit of a sinister look to it, yeah.
By the way, I know you're not fanboy enough to watch this because it's probably beneath you
Obi-Wan.
in your Japanese anime from Korea, right?
Right.
They get it right?
Yeah, pretty close.
What's it called?
Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Thunderbolt Fantasy. So I don't think you probably have watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, have you?
I've not seen any of the Obi-Wan series yet. I may, but I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
I watched it last night. It was awesome. It was awesome. And everybody's been complaining. First of all, do you know anybody who's on Reddit?
I know a few.
And
I'm involved in a couple of different boards for like gaming and stuff like that.
So
but that's
you're
about
on
it.
Reddit.
I'm on Reddit, yeah.
Okay, I hate you.
Yeah, no, we're not great people.
No, you're stupid.
Yeah, no, we're not great
You're
people.
dorks. You know, I hate. According to Reddit users, who are Reddit users? I hear that all the time. According to Reddit users, what exactly is Reddit?
Reddit's just a board website. So basically what it is it's a collection of
Nerds.
Well, collection of nerds, yes, passionate fans, what have you, depending on your terminology. It's just a website that hosts a lot of different like boards that are themed towards certain things. So like there's a Star Wars board.
So
there's
are you
probably a
telling me
Thunderbolt
it's like
Fantasy board.
So basically, you're telling me it's like the old AOL where you go in a chat room and everybody would throw in their 2 cents.
Yes, for the most part, yes, that's pretty much what it is. Sometimes you share news, sometimes you share opinions.
Are they legitimate opinions or the ravings of a madman?
Depending who you're talking to, it really is both.
Are they people that think they're smarter than everybody else? Because
they have a lot of free time on their hands.
Obviously, I have a blue check mark, so I'm much smarter than everybody else. But
right.
For the rest of the unwashed masses out there, it just reminds me. First of all, if anybody who requotes, users on Twitter say, "Listen, I got a blue check mark. I don't tweet that often." People on Twitter are losers. It's not real. It's a bunch of people just mouthing off on Twitter. They really are. It's garbage. Let me just say this. Reddit and Twitter, you're not real. There you go. That's a pretty bold statement for me, isn't it?
Not really, because you've had that stance for a long while now. But
because anybody can say anything stupid they want on Twitter, and they do.
I mean, people say stupid things in public, too.
Right, but then everybody else gloms onto the stupid things. I think everybody should have a voice. Not everybody has earned a platform. If you're on Twitter, you can just say any stupid thing you want, and if somebody catches it and it matches up with your narrative, off to the races. Here's what people on Twitter are saying. It's one idiot with an egg. Is that what it's like on Reddit? I know a couple dorks on Reddit, and there are people that if I actually met them face to face, I don't know how much I'd pay attention to their opinion.
Probably not a lot.
Like there are a couple guys that I worked with in San Diego, and they were fanboys.
Right.
And we would talk Comic-Con, and we'd talk Star Wars and MCU and DC Extended Universe, my fanboy side.
Right.
And then we'd talk about, the new movies that were coming out, and they were okay, but there weren't people that I was like, well, let me go run to this guy because he's going to have an opinion that I really want to hear. And they go, well, yeah, I was just writing on Reddit about that. I'm like, those are the people that you quote, but if you actually met them in real life, you would go, I don't think I want to quote this guy.
That's what's beautiful about Twitter and Reddit is that you can't see the person that's making the opinion.
But you also can't determine what that person's saying, correct? How legitimate that person is.
Yes.
It could be a 13-year-old in his basement in Iowa.
This is true.
Anyway, the Reddit users didn't like Star Wars. I did. I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi was outstanding. You're not going to watch it because it's just not sci-fi.
I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of things that are more sci-fi than Star Wars, so I don't know about that. But, I mean, if I have the time, I'll try to see if I can go ahead and catch it.
No, don't do me any favors. It was good on its own. Because I'm, it's not dark web enough for you. Dragon Ball does go on the dark web.
No, I do not.
Yes, he does.
No, I don't.
What's your dark web name?
I don't have a dark
Dragon
web
Ball.
name. No.
Have you seen anybody on the dark web named Dragon Ball? It's this dude right here.
I can guarantee you that there's probably some people on the dark web that are named Dragon Ball, and I have nothing to do with that. I can guarantee you. It's way too popular a thing. Believe it. Remember, there was that sandwich lady who knew what Dragon Ball was when you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. NBA draft tonight. Can the Cats pull off the 3? Can they pull off the trade? Can they pull off 3 number 1 picks? According to mock drafts, and again, you know how I feel about mock drafts, you have a chance, at least according to the Sporting News. The Sporting News isn't the Bible of baseball anymore the way it used to be when it was published in St. Louis. Did you ever get the Sporting News as a kid?
I did not know.
Sporting News was awesome. It had like the best sports coverage in the days where we would have to wait for Sports Illustrated and Sport Magazine to come out. Did you ever see The National?
No.
The National was a great publication. It was a sports daily. It was like USA Today's sports section on steroids during the steroids era. So anyway, according to Sporting News, there's a possibility for Christian Coloco to land with the Warriors with the 28th pick overall. Boy, how awesome would it be if the Cats could have 3 first-round draft picks tonight? They'll get 2. Ben Matthew, consensus, should go number 6 to Indiana, and then we'll see where Dalen Terry. Some people have him as high as 17. Some people have him down in the 20s. We'll see. That's kind of some of the drama that we'll have tonight if you're a Wildcat fan watching the NBA draft. Did Dalen Terry make the right call? I want to get into this on the program today. You know what? Shame on me and everybody else who didn't immediately jump on the bandwagon with the thought of DT going and being ready at the next level. He blew everybody away. He's probably the fastest mover in the NBA draft this year, going from a guy who maybe he was going to get picked. Oh, yeah, he's going to end up being a second rounder to, hey, here's a dude that could drop into the top 20. Great for Dalen Terry. I'm not sure what it says for the University of Arizona. By the way, on my desk, I watch TV on my desk.
Right.
Why is it I'm the only one in here who doesn't have cable TV in their office? You have cable TV in your studio. I have it now. All the others, everybody has it in there. I don't. There's people in the back that can watch soap operas. But I don't have, they won't give me cable TV in the studio. Or, excuse me, in my office. I've got a pretty nice office back there, right?
I mean, do you have a TV back there?
No, I do, but it doesn't plug into anything. And I tried to bring a Roku stick. That didn't work. I tried to bring an Apple TV, and I had a obsolete one, and that didn't work. And I told my wife, can I go buy another one? She said, no, shut up. You're supposed to be working. So I figured out how to stream online.
Right.
So I can watch TV at my desk. And the boss came in today. He goes, are you on a conference call? I said, no. He goes, are you recording something? No. And he looked, he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm watching TV. And he kind of looked at me, and I'm like, but it's the NBA draft. I'm getting ready for the draft. I'm actually working right now. I'm not just sitting here watching YouTube videos of Katina eats kilos, which I was right before he walked in. You know how I love watching me some eating contest, right?
I still don't find any comfort in those.
I probably watch 3 or 4 of those a day. But now the bad thing is the YouTube algorithm keeps popping more eating contest videos in my recommended.
That's what gets you.
I know. And then it just takes me down that Dragon Ball hole.
Yep.
Anyway, I was watching this, and I do want to talk about this in the program today. The red carpet shows. I hate the idea of a red carpet show for awards. What? You're making a face at me?
I mean,
they're stupid.
It's something to do. It's something to enjoy
It's
festivities.
Totally bougie. It's 100% bourgeoisie. Oh, here's Dragon Ball coming down the carpet, and he's wearing it looks to be an Armani blue velvet suit. Oh, Dragon Ball, you look wonderful. Tell me what you're wearing.
As flattered as I am that you think that I would be one of the people that would be showing off an Armani suit at the red carpet, I guarantee you I'd be one of those guys that would be wearing a very generic suit that would be picking up and making sure no one was stepping on like the trailing gown.
If I had you featured on the red carpet, here's what it would be. You ready?
It'd be
I'll do this.
Okay,
Ready? You
okay.
be rocking down. We're gonna play act here, okay?
Okay.
All right. You're gonna be the star. I'm gonna be the jerky person for Entertainment News, or now ESPN, because they did it today. It was stupid. I'll be the guy who is anchoring the coverage of the red carpet.
All right.
Well, we're here at the 2022 Dragon Ball Awards. Oh, and here is the man of the hour himself, Dragon Ball, coming down the red carpet. Oh, look at the paparazzi. Look at Dragon Ball. What an enormous night for him. He's accompanied by his grandmother, Nanny. Oh, she looks wonderful. I think she's wearing Caroline Herrera. Yes, that is a Caroline Herrera gown. Oh, and look, she has Christian Louboutin shoes. Nanny looks sharp. Now, Nanny's taking photos, and the paparazzi just eating Nanny up. She's fantastic, so tremendous. And now here comes Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball seems to be wearing gray cargo shorts with a tear in it. And only Dragon Ball can pull this off. Dragon Ball is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, completely wrinkled. And look, it's missing a button. Oh, my gosh, that is so couture of Dragon Ball. And oh, do you see that? He's got a hole in the front of his shirt. Dragon Ball, please come talk to the cameras. Dragon Ball. Oh, what an amazing night for you. I mean, this has got to be something. The Dragon Ball Awards, Dragon Ball. Oh, thank you so much for visiting us, sir.
I hate that you mentioned the missing the button thing because the shirt I'm wearing is missing the bottom button on the very bottom of the shirt.
What, do you think I was just making that up? I saw what you wore to work today. Okay, so Dragon Ball. Tell us about the Dragon Ball Awards tonight. I think all the Reddit users voted to see who was going to win the awards from the Dragon Ball this year.
I mean, it's a thing. We're having a time. We're having an enjoyment. It's a happening. And
the fact that you're raising money for charity is simply wonderful. And the people here are so excited to see you. Now, Dragon Ball, tell us what you're wearing today.
Goodwill.
Do you have a stylist, or did you pick that out yourself?
No, I picked this one up myself. It was on the clearance rack, so I picked that one up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, such fashion sense. And folks, he's raising money for charity. Dragon Ball.
I'm sure.
On behalf of all of us here at E or ESPN or whatever dopey networks covering the Dragon Ball Awards, thank you for letting us be here and be part of your special moment.
I'm sure it's not nearly that bad with the coverage. I'm sure that they're
Have you watched one of these?
I mean, I remember the NFL draft one it was still, they were doing a lot of coverage about like the top prospects and things like that. At the very least with the sports equivalents to these,
no,
they at least cover
what are you
the
wearing?
Incoming players.
I mean, okay, if somebody asks, what are you wearing? That is the most pretentious jackalope you'll ever meet.
Isn't the jackalope that one little rabbit with the antlers on it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that was something
I can't
else.
say the other word that starts with a jack.
Oh, okay. I see. But it's a
jackalope move because all you're doing is saying, yes, I am so rich and so famous, and all of you little people out there, look and see what I'm wearing. Oh, look, I'm wearing Armani. The second they tell you who they're wearing, they got it for free anyway. So it's not like they're that bougie and better than I that they make all that money. They got free clothes. And why do they give free clothes to people that can afford it? They should give you free clothes. You need free clothes more than anybody else I know.
It's a
Look
way
at you. You're a mess.
This is true, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of that is like they're renting out the suits in order to go ahead and have free advertising. That's
all
more
it is.
so what it is.
So it's completely pretentious.
I don't think they get to keep the suits, do they?
I don't know.
So, I mean, maybe not, but again, it's just advertising.
But
It's a big walking billboard.
And by the way, none of us would actually wear clothes like that. Unless you're Dragon Ball going to the Dragon Ball Awards.
I don't know, man. There's a couple of those like high-end club scenes that you could definitely be seeing people wear suits like that.
See, what's the nicest thing I have? I got some pretty good stuff. I got a bunch of I have some custom-made dress shirts because my neck's so big I can't get real dress shirts to fit. I've got I got a couple Joseph Abbott suits that I can't fit into anymore, and I got a Men's Warehouse tuxedo. So if I walk down, oh, Rich, what are you wearing today? I got the basic black Men's Warehouse $100 tuxedo jacket on today. Oh, how lovely.
I'm sure
we're going to talk about this a little bit more. They're just...
You woke up angry today.
I did. Let's see, what else? Oh, did I get ripped off last night?
No. No, you did. I already know
Ligue
what this.
Nationale de la Hockey.
I already know what this is about. No, you didn't.
There was an overtime. Both these overtimes have sucked. First one was over too quick. Second one, shut up.
The whole point to hockey overtime is that it's over
Give me
before
a
you
minute.
know it.
I didn't even have time to sit down and relax when they came back from commercial.
Neither do the teams. That's the whole point to this. Hockey is one of the fastest sports when it comes to overtime. It can be over in a second. You can score a goal off the face-off circle. I've seen it happen where you get
Dragon Ball, and Rich on the face-off. Dragon Ball wins the draw. Shot back, shoots, he scores!
If the goalie's
Dragon Ball gets the pass back up from the defenseman, and he puts the biscuit in the basket, and he lights the lamp.
If the goalie's not paying attention, you could score off the face-off at center ice. I've seen it happen.
By the way, I just hurt my throat with that.
Yeah,
right. Did I? Was that pretty good? I light the lamp and put the biscuit in the basket.
Put the biscuit in the basket. But
I knew you'd like that.
But you didn't get ripped off. Anyone who watched the Stanley Cup Finals last night.
There were 6 men on the ice.
No.
Even the report said 6 men on the ice.
No. There was 11 men on the ice after the goal was scored because they were celebrating, but there weren't 6 men on the ice. And to be fair, this is something that I feel like...
you got to explain to people what we're talking about.
So what happened with the Stanley Cup Final...
Because most people were watching Obi-Wan Kenobi last night. I know I was.
So in the Stanley Cup Final, in the game last night, again, this was going to be a critical match for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They needed this game to tie the series up 2-2.
Two-time Stanley Cup champions.
And what happened is during overtime, there was a shift change. And what happens with the shift change, for those who don't understand hockey, is that you get your current skaters off the ice, get new skaters on. The rule states that you are not allowed to have more than 5 skaters outside of your goaltender on the ice at any given time. So you have 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, typically is the lineup. If your goaltender comes off, you can have a 5th skater on. Or 6th skater off, rather. So when it happened that the Avalanche got onto the offensive side of the ice, there was apparently confusion as to whether or not there were 6 Avalanche on during a shift change. If there were 6 men on the ice, the referees have the right to go and stop the play and say that it's a too many men on the ice penalty. It would give the Tampa Bay Lightning a power play opportunity.
Which it should have gotten.
The call wasn't made because there wasn't a missed call. That was a legal score. Kadri comes in, scores the overtime winner. It puts the Avalanche up 3-1.
You don't know who to guard because there's 6 guys on the ice.
Guess what? It wouldn't have mattered because the shift change was on the opposite side of the ice.
Doesn't matter. Threw everything off.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pairs of skates on the ice.
And I'm telling you.
I'm watching right now the replay. They just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One guy's just standing there off to the side. That's why they don't let you do that in the NFL anymore. Before, there used to be a play in the NFL. I'd have 10 guys on the ice, or 10 guys on the ice. I'd have 10 guys in the field, and then I'd have 1 wide receiver, and he'd stand on the sideline, and then right before he goes, hike, he'd step on the field, take off, nobody would cover him, he'd score a touchdown. They don't do that in football anymore. Why are they letting them cheat me in the hockey?
So guess what? The reason why is that, if you want my personal opinion, this is just another one of the Tampa Bay Lightnings crying about a call they didn't get. They've been having this issue going back to when the Penguins were beating them in the Eastern Conference Final for years. This is just what happens with Tampa. Sometimes they get lucky, sometimes they don't. In this situation, the call wasn't made because the play didn't affect.
If I show you a picture with 6 men on the ice.
You can show me a picture of 6 men on the ice and both men are skating up the ice, then yes, this call should have been made. The 6th man did not affect the play.
So you do admit that there's 6 men on the ice?
If there was a 6th man...
Dragon Ball, I want the truth.
The truth is...
You can't handle the truth.
Even with the 6th men on the ice that they are saying, it wasn't on the attack. They didn't have 6 men in the offensive zone. The puck was still in the defensive side. They were putting the puck up, and the guy that was on the ice immediately got off before the offensive zone was reached. Therefore, the referees have the discretion to say, we're not going to go ahead and call that one.
We're not going to call that one.
Yeah. And guess what? It happens.
I want the truth.
Look,
you can't handle the truth.
There have been a lot of missed calls.
My team got ripped off.
There are a lot of calls that get missed and are botched in NHL history. Believe you me. And I'll tell you what. The Buffalo Sabres are still wondering why the game wasn't stopped when they lost the Stanley Cup final to the Dallas Stars, because
long
there
ago
was
was that?
that was way back. But I'm telling you, Buffalo Sabre fans still complain because there was a skate in the crease. Guess what? Get over it.
They complain because they live in Buffalo. Have you ever been to Buffalo? You ever been to Buffalo? It's like going back to the 1960s.
I mean, no, it's not that bad.
I do like the food. Oh yeah.
It's not
if
that
you ever go to a Buffalo Bills game, it's like you're going back to the AFL.
Well, that's the point. That's what it was. That's the whole point. That's the draw of a Buffalo Bills game.
No, they're so bored over there. They go AEW breaking tables. And they're so bored, they go, hey, let's pour hot sauce on wings and burn our mouths. That sounds like fun.
Buffalo Bills Mafia is a fine group of people.
By the way,
and you did not get robbed in the NHL Stanley Cup final.
By the way, I'm working tonight on the network, and Buffalo's a big station. I wonder if I should give that take today in Buffalo and watch them beat me up.
Best of luck.
Let's see, what else? Oh, a couple other things just to throw in there. You know, the Elvis movie sneak peek is tonight.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think you're going to go see this, are you?
Probably not.
If I paid for you, would you go? If I paid for you and your girl, bought popcorn and soda, and I didn't go with you, you guys went and I just gave you the movie gift certificate.
Don't trust me to go to the theater that Elvis is playing in. I may sneak off to go somewhere else.
What else would you see?
I don't know.
You've
I got to think
Top
about it.
Gun, and Doctor Strange just showed up on Disney Plus last night.
Right. I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but I'm sure there'd be something else I can watch.
It's supposed to be phenomenal.
I'm sure it's
Unless
going
you
to be.
dorks on Reddit don't like it. But anyway, what are the big news today? Arch Manning's going to Texas.
Yep.
So maybe Texas will have a shot.
And again,
in the Southeastern Conference.
That's the nephew of Peyton and Eli. That's not one of their that's not one of their kids. That's a nephew.
Cooper's son.
Yes. So for people that are wondering, like, oh, is it Peyton's son or is he? No, it's Cooper's son.
Now, if you listen to this program, you're smart enough to be well aware. Dragon Ball gives you wonderful updates once an hour?
Once an hour.
That seems like
3
twice.
Fair enough,
yeah,
I suppose. Yeah.
Listen, I got to listen to you every day. It seems like it's twice, and they just go on and on and on. Coming up today in the National Hockey League, we'll talk about the Phoenix Coyotes. No, we won't. They play at ASU. They're dead to me. All right, coming up in the program, I got to update you on the brackets. And again, listen, I'm begging you. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. We're going to name the ultimate Arizona Wildcat. Tucson's top cat. I'll run through the brackets for you for the third round. And again, because we're off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to hammer this home. Vote today at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
This is David Amon, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 3:35. Arizona guard Shane Noel has completed his journey in the transfer portal after he announced that he will be committing to UNLV after 1 year with the Wildcats. Early reports from the Phoenix Suns says that multiple teams have reached out in discussion about a possible trade involving forward Jay Crowder as the draft approaches. The legacy of the Manning family will continue at Texas after five-star quarterback Arch Manning and top recruit of the 2023 recruiting class officially commits to the Longhorns. Ahead of the NBA draft, the Nets forward Kevin Durant is reportedly weighing his future with the Nets after a possible exit with Kyrie Irving is now on the horizon. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera Radio Show rolls on. NBA draft coming up. Could 3 Cats be taken in the first round? If Christian Koloko can move up and be taken number 28 overall, that's what Sporting News thinks, that CeeLo could be reunited with some Arizona Wildcats, getting a chance to spend some time with Steve Kerr. We'll see whether that happens or not. But the Arizona Wildcats will be well represented in the NBA draft tonight. To talk about that, a gentleman who knows a little bit about what it's like to wait for that telephone call to finally ring. He was a second-round draft pick in 1996 by the Cleveland Cavaliers. We call him an Arizona broadcaster now, one of the greatest defensive players to ever lace him up for Lute Olson. We're talking about Reggie Geary. He's joining us right now on Wildcats Radio 1290. Reggie, how are you?
I'm good, Rich. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it, brother. Do you remember that day? What recollections do you have of that day, that morning that you wake up of the draft?
Yeah, it was an exciting day. I was here in Tucson. I believe my mother had came in, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, was with me kind of celebrating that day. And I just remember being very anxious and very excited. I had done a lot of good things in the pre-draft process to kind of put myself in a position to get drafted. And I remember going in tonight pretty optimistic.
Where did you watch it? How did you find out who was going in the first, and then as they get closer and closer to you?
Yeah, I just kind of like everyone else, I was kind of going through watching, the first pick and seeing Iverson, all the names being called. I was projected by some, to kind of go at the bottom of the first, top of the second. And like I said, kind of from the work that I had put in, the pre-draft camps, and just from what I was hearing, I thought that was a realistic opportunity. And as the night played out, unfortunately that wasn't the case. And I always kind of preface it by saying I felt, very honored and blessed and humbled and appreciative to hear my name called that night, but to kind of go 56, it was a tough evening for me. And so I got a call from Wayne Embry. He was general manager of the Cavaliers, the team that drafted me. And he said, Reggie, hey, I know you maybe a little disappointed. You thought you were going to go a little earlier, but we're excited to have you. And just to hear him say that really lifted my spirits and really kind of turned things around for me for the evening.
Take us through the mindset, because we watch people in the green room, and we'll see Ben Mathurin in the green room tonight. Dalen Terry's having a party up in Phoenix with his family and friends, and I think there'll be some media members there covering that. I'm not sure what Christian Koloko is doing tonight, but just those moments before the phone rings, are you battling things in your head? Are you trying not to get your emotions too high and get too excited? Are all the insecurities of the 20 million reasons why you might not get called next rattling around inside you?
I think it's a combination of all those things, and that's just what makes it such a nerve-wracking experience. That as a name goes off the board, you start doing the calculus, start doing the math. Okay, there goes a point guard. You have an idea. Your agents have kind of given you an idea of the teams that like you and where you might go in a draft, and so you just really you're just kind of looking at the board, and when a team comes up that you think might draft you, all of a sudden your heart starts going again, and so. It's definitely an exciting time it's a life-changing time for these families. So there's definitely a lot of anxiety involved.
Do you look at who else is getting picked? Like, wait a minute, I played against that guy. I'm just as good as that guy. Why is he right there? You're like, hey, listen, that guy just got picked. I'm right there next to him. I think I'm getting close.
Oh, everyone does. You start that with the first pick. Like, oh man, that should have been me. But all kidding aside, you're doing that. You're taking mental notes. Those are things that maybe after the draft, now when you're in your workouts or in your first year, those are the things that really drive you to become even a better player and a great player. That, hey, that team stunned me. I'm better than this guy, and that kind of that fuel in the fire for you.
Okay, I have to ask you this question. Did you have a secret bat phone put aside that only NBA teams had, or was that just your regular phone and, your buddies start calling, hey, Reggie, what's going on?
Yeah, I think it was I remember just being, just a regular phone. This is back in the 90s, so I didn't have too many phones back in the day. It was just, I remember people calling saying, hey, thanks, but, I'm waiting on something, kind of hanging up. And for me, it was a pretty chill night. DT, he's a brave man tonight. He must know something we don't to have a party because, I remember Chris Mills, a great U of A player, great NBA player, sitting in the green room a very long time, and it could be for an uncomfortable situation. But I'm sure Dalen's appreciative of all that support and family and all that positive energy that hopefully he gets hears his name early tonight.
I'm just thinking, I hope there's no robocallers or people that are trying to extend his car warranty tonight. Hey, is this a coach? No, but I'd like to extend your car warranty if you have a couple of moments. We're checking in right now with my friend Reggie Gary joining us right now. Of course, he was a second-round draft pick in '96 in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go through how your life changes when you get that telephone call. First round, second round, your life is never the same. So for these guys that are going to have their names called tonight, what's the biggest shock that says you are now a professional athlete?
Yeah, it's really that moment, that epiphany that you kind of accomplished one of your major life goals, and it hits you. It's overwhelming. You're emotional. Your mind immediately starts racing, and then keep in mind, it takes off from there. You're going to be probably in your host city within the first 48 to 72 hours. Your life just changed automatically, and you see how fast things really move at the professional level, and it's exciting. And then now you have to start thinking about the work that's going to be necessary to get you, either making your team or on the floor, and there's just a lot that goes into it. So it's a whirlwind experience. And as soon as your name's called, like you say, that life dream now has happened. It's now a reality, and you're a professional player.
Do you remember the first thing that you thought of when you heard the commissioner read your name?
I just, like I say, it was a bittersweet night for me, and I hate to say that because it's such a blessing to hear your name called. But it was a relief, to have it that I was a draft. I was actually drafted into the NBA. That no one could ever take that away from me. And I just thought, I just remember having an instant chip on my shoulder that, hey, I'm going to go in, I'm going to make this team, and I'm going to be a good pro, and I'll show people. So I used it for fuel. But just to hear your name, man, it never leaves me. I'll never forget that moment.
See, you're a better man than I am. I would have, if it were me, I don't care. I could be a 87th round pick. I don't care. I would have made that into my ringtone.
For sure. But it does. It changed my life because even times when I wasn't in the NBA and I was playing overseas, playing in Europe, playing in some of these countries, I was always considered a former NBA player, and so to always have that. To kind of, like I say, they can never take that away from you. It's very impactful. It'll serve you in the long run for a very long time.
What's the biggest thing that you have to learn? What's the biggest adjustment when you make that jump from a big-time college basketball program like the University of Arizona, one of the best in the nation, but now you're in that next level? The Pac-12, Pac-10's really good. ACC's really good. SEC's really good. But now you're with the best of the best. Yeah,
it really is. It's a transition on every imaginable level. Obviously, on the physical, being on the court, day one you get out there and you're realizing that, every individual you saw was, a producer or one of the best players at their universities, who had been in the league for a number of years, have gone overseas now or battle tested. Now you're competing against them. And you realize that this is definitely a step up. Christian Koloko is going to realize he's 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. There's going to be people at the rim that are going to meet him. Dale Terry, there's going to be guys just as aggressive and just as, persistent defensively as he is. Ben Matthew, no one's going to carte blanche him and allow him to go to the rim. So from a physical standpoint, it's, eye to eye, you're matching it against the greatest, talent in the world athletically. Off the court, they're going to realize that, U of A is a safe place, that, Tommy Lloyd and his staff and the whole staff of the athletic department, we're gatekeepers for these individuals in terms of keeping third parties and some of these negative things away from them. That is no longer there. They're going to meet people that are, unfortunately, might not have the best intentions at times, and they're going to have to kind of figure out that new landscape with some new money in their hand.
What is the difference in the speed of the game? I was lucky enough, I spent years as an NFL and college football sideline reporter, and I remember I was at Florida State one day, and I did a game, and Florida State, great college football team. And the next day I did a Buccaneers game, and this is when the Buccaneers weren't very good, and they were one of the worst teams in the National Football League. And being able to see those two games back-to-back on a Saturday and then a Sunday, I was just blown away when I saw the difference in the speed of the game from one of the best college football teams in the country and one of the worst in the National Football League. And the National Football League was about a bazillion times faster speed-wise standing on the sideline. What about in the NBA compared to playing in the Pac-12?
Yeah, the Pac-12 is a great proving ground for yourself, especially at the elite level, the Conference of Champions. So you're seeing already a high-level athlete. But when you get to the NBA, it even takes another step up where the length of the players, where opportunities where you thought you could turn a corner or maybe you could squeeze through a little bit of a hole there, that thing is no longer there. And then once you get through, you're met with 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" individuals. And so the speed of the game is incredible. One of my first games, in an exhibition game my rookie year was against Patrick Ewing. And just to be on the court with him or Karl Malone or be guarded by Scottie Pippen or even play against Michael Jordan, which I had the opportunity to do, it's just another level of athlete, both physically and mentally. And to go along with that speed, the game is definitely more sped up, but you have to now be a pro and find a way to slow that down, to have the ability to read and react in these types of situations when a lot is being thrown at you. And that just takes time.
Was there an out-of-body experience when you're playing and you're on the floor with Pippen and MJ?
Yeah, most definitely. And that happens to every rookie. Whether you're Ben Matthew and you're going to be lottery tonight, hopefully, or, DT or Coloco, that first part of your rookie year, you're a fan. You walk onto the court, and all these guys you've seen all these years, you're now on the court with them. And so, I always laugh, the first time we went to Chicago and played against Jordan, and you hear that music, and here they are coming up the steps, and you're realizing, man, this is about to happen. Jordan's coming. So you're definitely a fan for the first part, but as soon as that you can get through that for the first few months, then you can kind of relax, get to being yourself, and then really showcasing your abilities.
How important is mentorship? We're talking with Reggie Geary right now, a friend of mine joining us here on the program. How important is mentorship, having somebody that you could turn to and finding the right mentor that takes you under their wing and teaches you all the unwritten rules of being a professional athlete?
Yeah, that mentorship is huge. It really is. A big part of everybody's success depends on a lot about who you're drafted and who you're surrounded by. Everyone knows there's better organizations than others. And if you can get with one of these organizations, they have these veterans that, will look at you and if they see something in you, they'll take you aside and say, hey, man, you have something. I just think if you do X, Y, and Z, you can really prolong your career or really have a great year. And for a rookie, it's important that they're receptive to these wise veterans. I remember I was in an exhibition game one time, or I shouldn't say exhibition. I was in a game one time, and I remember Derek Harper pulled me aside, and we weren't even on the same team at this point. He was in Dallas, and he was probably towards the end of his career. And I remember him saying, "Hey, man, you got something. Just keep working on it. Get that jumper down." And just to hear encouraging words like that from a veteran and someone I respect is huge, and it will be huge for these players to find that individual on the team, to mentor them, to show them, how to be a professional both on and off the court.
How big is that? I'm thinking of this. NBA Finals, I know Tatum and Smart and those guys were just devastated watching the Warriors pick them apart in that sixth game. But I remember, as much as everyone wants to get on Draymond Green walked over to a couple of the Celtics. And listen, Draymond's been talking trash ever since. But in that moment at the end of the ball game, he pulled a couple of those guys aside and whispered in their ear and encouraged them. And I thought, wow, that's a class move.
No, it really is. I mean, it shows what kind of individual Draymond is that, yeah, he's fiercely competitive, and he does play those mental mind games where he tries to get in your head a little bit. But I'm sure he walked up to those, Tatum and Brown and others, and told them, hey, your time is coming, that you have to go through this process. You have to lose at this level, in this round, whether it's like going back to, the great, Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons teams back in the day, or anyone for that regard, that once you get to that semifinals, finals, and you have that loss, it's usually the next year is when you get your championship. And I'm sure that's something he was sharing with them.
What does it mean to be part of the fraternity of a person who said, I played in the National Basketball Association?
Yeah, it's a special group. It's a special group. We know less than 1% of, collegiate and professional athletes can actually make that claim. We used to always say there's more brain surgeons that graduate every year than guys taken into the NBA draft. It really is a special fraternity to be part of it, and not only to get into it, but to have a couple of years and have some experiences. It's something you can share with your friends and families. I have some great stories. I ran into John Stockton last year, and me and him got to talk, and that's just a special camaraderie that we have. That hey, I played against this individual, and we share that. And I can, share that with my kids and friends and family and young individuals that I work with.
Of all the times we've hung out together, we never got to talk about you playing against Michael Jordan. I feel like I'm getting ripped off here because go, please. I didn't mean to cut you off. Tell me.
No. People that know me, it's not something I will share with, but I feel I'm bigger than a basketball player now, that I've done other things. I'm an administrator. I've done other things in my life. And if it comes up in conversation, I'm more than willing to talk about it, but it's not something I lead with.
See, folks, this is why Reggie Gary's a better person than I am. If it were me, I'd have a picture of the commissioner standing there with me, and I'd put it on a T-shirt, and I'd wear it every day. That's what I would do. But Reggie Gary's a very humble man. One last thing, and this is in all seriousness. I think a lot of times we as sports fans take for granted what tonight is, the NBA draft. Like you said, it's 1%. And we look at it like, oh, that guy, he lasted 1 year, or he did this or he did that. Just take a moment and reflect what it takes to have your name called tonight and to spend just one game, just to have one cup of coffee, to be able to get invited to camp, just to have that opportunity to don a jersey with that logo and that silhouette of Jerry West on your chest. What does that mean? How important, how big is that? How difficult is that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is difficult, in terms of it's a life commitment. Even though we're talking about 18, 19-year-olds, this is something that they've been working on, their entire lives since they were young men, and they were probably at some point identified of having a special talent, and people took interest in them, and they took that interest and took that attention, and they got in the gym and they worked and they listened and they shot by themselves and they became obsessed. We don't think of it that way, but when you look at AAU kids and they're traveling around the country week in, week out, playing multiple games, they're working with personal trainers. It's all encompassing. You have to be. It's a global game now. It's so competitive that you just always have to be on it. Hopefully you have the God-given talent to reach those goals and you receive guidance, whether it's through AU coaches, high school or college, that can help you with that. And then the bigger portion is for these guys tonight. It's life-changing. It's generational changing. It really changes the direction and trajectory of the family and in terms of their success for their family, for their grandkids. So this is really serious, life-changing stuff. And I love watching the draft. It's so emotional. I love seeing the families, people hugging their moms, and because I know how much it means to them.
Wow. I tweeted this out earlier for Christian Coloco. Good luck. Hard work pays off tonight. But after listening to that, it really is all that hard work that even now I think I'm still taking for granted, even talking to you, because it just looks so easy to get into the league. But after listening to you now, I really understand it is something special and it is something elite that none of us should ever take for granted what it takes to get to that level.
No, most definitely. There's going to be a lot of happy individuals tonight, but there's going to be 3 or 4 times as many individuals that are not going to hear their name, and they're really going to find out another reality to the business that now they're out there without a home, They're going to have to go into NBA teams or overseas or play minor league basketball. And, they're still very fortunate to have the opportunity to pursue their passion, but it's much more difficult. And so it really is difficult. But we all love this game. If we didn't love it, we wouldn't, put up with some of these headaches and also a lot of the blessings that come with it.
Reggie Gary, you're a good man. I appreciate you spending some time talking to me on the day of the NBA draft. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so very, very much.
Awesome as always, man. Anytime. Everybody, a lot of positive energies for the guys tonight. Hopefully it's a big night for Wildcat and Wildcat fans.
There you go. Love it. Reggie, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, brother.
All right. Take care.
All right, take care. Reggie Gary joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Okay. Can I just share something? I mean, because, listen, if you're listening to the program, I almost feel like we're friends. Like Dragon Ball and I are just acquaintances.
Sometimes at best, yeah.
Co-workers.
Co-workers.
No, Dragon Ball. I'm just kidding. I love you, you knucklehead. But
better than a stooge.
Hello. No. I'm going to say something here. That wasn't the interview that I was intending to do with Reggie.
No.
That was not the interview that I was intending to do with Reggie, but we started down this path, and I just wanted to run with it. I actually intended, and if you were listening, you were like, hey, okay, Rich, you're going to ask him about what Christian Coloco is going to do. Are you going to ask him about Ben Matthew? Are you going to ask him about Dalen Terry? That's what I intended on doing. But when he started opening up about what it's like waiting to be drafted and what it's like to go through that process, I've never heard a behind-the-scene account of what it's like waiting for that phone to ring. And when he we started talking about there's devils and angels sitting on all of our shoulders. And your best you was saying, I should have gone there. And your worst you is saying, I'm never going to get called. Even by my standards, your standards, whatever, we all experience that. But to hear it in that context was pretty spectacular. That was something that I was not anticipating. So I you know what? I love Reggie Gary.
Oh yeah,
I love Reggie Gary. Reggie Gary's a good man, and I'm proud to know him. And being able to have him share that with me right now, share that with you, I'm gonna be quoting Reggie for years from now. That could be one of the best conversations I've ever had on the radio. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Reggie Gary. In fact, you know what, Dragon Ball? I'm gonna just tell everybody right now, I'm stealing that. I'm using that tonight on the Amy Lawrence show.
There you go.
Just to sit down and talk about what this day really is like. So let's save that tape because I'm going to use that. I'm going to share that tonight across America. That's how good that was. All right, coming up with the program, what am I going to do? I'm going to talk about our brackets. I do want to get into how much I hate the Red Carpet Awards, and I got a whole bunch of other stuff I got to do. Dragon Ball's just looking at me like, I'm blown away. That was really something special. We'll continue with you. We'll give you the update on the brackets. That's coming up here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Oh, look, Dragon Ball. They're showing the red carpet again on ESPN.
You got to admit, some of those, like the inside parts of some of those suit jackets, those are pretty cool.
What would you put on the inside of your suit jacket?
Probably a lot of Dragon Ball Z action frames. Just because that's the nerd in me.
Would you really?
Probably.
Is that your favorite, like, nerdy thing, Dragon Ball?
Well, I mean, Dragon Ball's up there. I would say that my introduction to the genre of anime would probably be like Sailor Moon, Rurouni Kenshin, and things like that. So something old school, something 90s anime probably. But then again, that's probably a lot more money, so I'd probably be cheap out, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'll just get the regular suit.
No, if you could get, no, I'm just saying, if you were on the red carpet and somebody gave you a free suit.
If somebody gave me a free suit, I'd be in trouble, because I can guarantee you they're probably not getting that suit back in pristine order, because I'm probably going to eat nachos with it on.
Right. You're a big nacho guy.
I'm a big nacho guy.
I would want, you know what I want? I want one of those red and blue Arizona suits. Just the sport coat. I don't want to, well, actually, I'd get them as separates. I'd wear the pants with a white shirt, or I'd wear the jacket with jeans.
Yes.
You've seen them, right?
Yeah, no, I've seen those. Those actually are very, very nice.
They're gaudy.
That's very, very nice to me.
I don't think I could wear it to church.
Not unless you provided something to the church.
Unless you went to church in Tucson.
Well, no, not unless you provided something to the church. Like if you gave them like a big screen for.
No,
like,
you can't buy your way into heaven. You have to be a good person.
No. You can buy your way into being a good churchgoer, though.
I told you, the priest once, when I first started going back to church, the priest would listen to my show in Florida, and he'd go, "Hey, folks, don't sit too close to Rich Herrera over there, just in case when lightning strikes, I don't want to get any meat shrapnel on you."
Oh, that's a little brutal.
In the middle of church.
That's a little brutal. Meat shrapnel?
Meat shrapnel. I loved him. I still talk to him. He's a good dude.
Meat shrapnel. Never heard that terminology before for someone spontaneously combusting.
Meat shrapnel. Hey, 4th of July, we're helping you celebrate with a big way. You can win $5,000 with the Red, White, and Win giveaway. Red, White, and... Who writes this? Do you write this?
I don't write this.
All right, let me just read this correctly. This July 4th, we are helping you celebrate big with a chance to win $5,000 in the Red, White, and Win giveaway. Use the money for the biggest backyard barbecue, on an amazing summer vacation, on a Sailor Moon suit. If you're Dragon Ball or that really good couture Arizona Wildcats suit that Rich Herrera wants, because they fat shame me inside the bookstore because they don't have size quadruple X.
That seems rough.
Yeah, they're fat shaming me. So if I won this $5,000,
they had your
my
hat
own.
though. They had your hat though, yeah.
They barely make my hat.
Yeah, but they make your hat.
They do, but I got to get there like first, because then they only order certain size 8s, and they're gonna run and I'm all out. All they have is snapback. Darn it! Although I did figure out where I can find a snapback extender on Amazon.
Yeah.
So now I can wear any size snapback hat there is. They will no longer shame me for the size of my noggin. Anyway, go to WildcatsRadio1290.com to enter to win today. Good luck, and hopefully you can buy a Sailor Moon suit. Like a suit with Sailor Moon. I don't even know what Sailor Moon is.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know. Don't worry about it.
What is it?
No, it's only going to open up another Pandora's box for me. Don't bother with it. Don't. We'll just move on here.
You know what? Today, it's kind of a bittersweet day around Tucson. I think we're excited for Ben Mathurin. We're excited for Jalen Terry. And we're excited for Christian Coloco, correct?
Yes.
I think everybody's excited for them. And they played, before we had Zeke and you had Nico in DeAndre Ayton go into the draft, but they're around for a year. Did you get a chance to know them as well as you feel like you know Ben Mathurin, because you know his story from Montreal to Mexico City, where his roommates with Umar Ballo, and then he gets an opportunity to come to Tucson when Jack Murphy goes down there and finds him, and now he's going on to the NBA, and everybody's so excited for that. You saw Christian Coloco from his how would I describe that photo they showed during the tournament with the glasses?
Yeah.
And he weighed about 18 pounds, soaking wet, to the dude who just came back ripped.
Oh, yeah. That was probably the most jarring season-to-season transformation I've seen in a long time.
And then Dalen Terry, who I remember interviewing him before the season started. We were still wearing masks when we sat down with him. And we went inside the Richard Jefferson gym to talk to him. And he was like, hey, this year, I'm going to show my personality. I remember that red and blue game. He showed out. And you really got to see what Dalen Terry's all about. And now our little Wildcats are going into the NBA. And I'm just all choked up. But it's bittersweet because am I the only one who's just a greedy pig that thinks, what if they just could have stayed? If Ben Mathurin stayed, and if Dalen Terry stayed, and if Christian Koloko stayed, could you imagine what the Arizona Wildcats would be next year?
It's bizarre because you get the situation with, you have that feeling now, it feels like for almost all college players, particularly in basketball, you wonder what would it be like if they stayed another year?
What if DeAndre Ayton would have stayed 2 years?
What if Nico Mannion had stayed on?
Yeah.
What if Zeke had stayed on? What if, I mean, you can go back even further than DeAndre. What would happen if Stanley Johnson and Rondé Hollis Jefferson had stayed on? What would Derek Williams have turned into if he had stayed another year?
Because especially the NBA. NFL, not so much. You need to stick around in the NFL for a couple of years just so you're big enough, physically strong enough to play on the next level.
Yeah.
In the National Football League, you don't need to. You could bail after 1 year. Heck, most of these guys, who's the kid from Duke? Paulo Banchero.
Yes, Paulo Banchero. And then you've also got Shaedon Sharp from Kentucky, who didn't play for Kentucky at all last year, but he's still entering the NBA draft.
They only have to find a place to hang out for a year before they can go into the next level, right? They're one and done. Do you think they really went to class?
I like to think they did. I like to think that they did. I can't say that they did, though.
Right. How much were you worried? How much were you really worried about keeping your grades up? And it's bittersweet because you want these kids to come here and get an opportunity to go on the next level. So as a Wildcat fan, you're like, that's awesome. Look, we're going to have 3 guys drafted tonight. And then it helps bring in more kids because, tonight Jack Murphy is going to be in the green room with Benedict Matthew. Benedict's going to he's going to have, I think his mom's going to be there. His sister's going to be there. He's going to be thinking of his brother that he lost when he was 13 years old. Wonderful article in today's Arizona Daily Star from Bruce Pascoe. You should go read it. And then Jack Murphy. Originally, Tommy's going to be there, but there's some scheduling snafus. So Murph's going to be there tonight. And you're thinking, this is awesome. But you're also thinking, just being greedy. If he would have stayed, do you imagine how good the team would be? If he'd stay along with Dalen Terry? I mean, you go to school in order to raise your level to go on to do whatever you're going to do. Whether you come here to study science, English, math, whatever. You go to college to earn a professional degree to get your career going, and that's what they've done. But on the flip side of that, you were like, oh, man, if I could have these guys stay just another year, do you understand how awesome this team would be? Still going to be a pretty good team, but when you lose 3 guys like that, it hurts. So that's why I think it's bittersweet because I think the nice thing about the Cat fans is you want to see him do well. You want to see these 3 do well, and you're going to pull for everything. And I guess I'm the only one who's greedy. Is like, if they could have stayed. Could you imagine? You could be cutting down nets in the Final Four. And that's why it's bittersweet. And the game of college basketball is odd because it is truly the minor leagues of the National Basketball Association. Baseball, you play college baseball, but you're still going to end up playing in the California League in order to get to the American League. The national college football, you could play at the Rose Bowl, and then you'll go straight into the National Football League, and you will be expected to play and produce right off the get-go. College basketball, it's a hybrid of both. It's not like baseball where once I go, yeah, you can go to the G League, but that's not that's not the everyday path to get you through that journey to get you where you want to be, and you're not going to go straight from college playing multiple years into the NBA. It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Anyway, I was just thinking about that tonight. Again, I'm going to be excited. I hope Christian Koloko, could you imagine how much of a Warriors homer I could be if Christian Koloko goes to the Warriors at 28?
There would be a huge contingent of Wildcats to the point where you might as well call them the Golden State Wildcats. Like, it is impressive to think how many Arizona players.
Do you know how fast I would go and find my Christian Koloko jersey? You know what a jersey is?
A shirt jersey.
Yeah, shirt jersey.
Yeah.
Do you know how fast I would order that jersey tonight?
Well, here's the thing. You could technically look up an old Kevin Durant Golden State jersey and just tape Koloko's name on it.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. There's a lot of those Kevin Durant jerseys.
They're all for sale right now next to the Kyrie Irving
Brooklyn Nets jerseys.
Brooklyn Nets jersey.
But I mean, again, Koloko 35. If he goes to Golden State, you could just do that. It's a possibility.
Hey, Steve Kerr is probably listening to the show right now.
He probably is,
because I think he watches it on YouTube.
He probably does.
So, Steve, I'm just looking at the camera right now. Steve, bro, Christian Koloko, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year.
First team Pac-12.
First team all Pac-12. If you guys lose Looney, you're going to need a big man coming off the bench that can D up. My man Christian Koloko would be a very good fit for you. Come on, Steve. Let's do it. All right, Steve, I'll call you after the show. Today's program brought to you by Trajan Wealth, 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to TrajanWealth.com, TRAJANWealth.com. You know what? Here's the one thing. We were asking Reggie Geary about all the things that is the wake-up moment, I guess, if you will, when you get to be a pro. It's like the wake-up moment that you're an adult and you have to pay rent for the very first time. You're like, I'm going to have $10 left over for next week. There's moments in your life where you have to step up and you have to become responsible. And for all of these guys tonight in the NBA, I hope they're responsible, and I hope they find someone to look out for them financially, to handle all this money. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's how you handle that money. That's why 75% of the players that leave the league are broke or divorced or both. You need to find a financial partner that can look out for your best interest. Do you have that? Do you have that small businessman that's just been working your tail off trying to make things happen? Do you have that father of four that's trying to put money aside for your kids' college education and a little something for your retirement? Do you have that person that has your back that's going to make those things happen for you, that's going to work their tail off to meet your goals? Do you have a person you sit down and you look them in the eye and go, this is what's important to me. I got to make sure my kids get a college education. I got to make sure we have a nest egg. I got to make sure we have this. If you don't, you need to find somebody. That's why I'm going to give you this number right now, 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to TrajanWealth.com, TRAJANWealth.com. They're fiduciaries. You sit down, you meet them face-to-face right here in Tucson. You're not calling some 800 number, and they're there to help you reach your goals. They live by the motto, the more you make, the more we make. You guys are financial partners. They're right there. They have your back. TrajanWealth.com, TRAJANWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Coming up, I got a question for you. You know what? I looked through all the centers in the draft, and I'm wondering, where does Christian Koloko stack up for what the NBA needs right now? Big men coming off the bench. I'll walk through the top 5 players of the draft. I got a simple question for you. Who do you think's got a better potential in the next level? The kid from Gonzaga or the kid from Tucson? We'll talk about that next year at 1290. It's the Rich Rarish radio show on a Thursday of the NBA draft. They're going to get going in 35 minutes.
Top of the hour.
Top of the hour. Where will Benedict Matthew go? Consensus says, unless you listened to Dragon Ball yesterday in the program, it confused everybody.
I apologize for anyone who may or may not have gotten confused. I also wanted to just ask, do you honestly think that Ben Mathurin is more of a forward than a guard? Because ESPN has him listed as a forward from Arizona. I don't know why, but that just irks me.
A wingman?
Yeah, he should be just a straight up two guard. He should just be a guard. I don't understand why they're listing him as a forward on ESPN right now.
I don't know.
It's weird. Like DT, I can see them listing him as a forward,
right?
Because he's definitely an in between player. Ben Mathurin to me seems like a pure guard.
Haven't we just kind of morphed all those around anyway?
I mean, yeah, the positions and the numbers and everything, they don't really mean much anymore. But at the same time,
because is there a true center? I mean, is there a true 7-footer on most teams?
There are in some cases. You have like Steven Adams and Steven Adams is probably about the only true 5 I can think of in a traditional sense of a center.
And here's where I'm going with this. Thank you very much for helping me segue there. I really appreciate your help. Where will CeeLo go? Okay, Sporting News. I'm going to be a big homer for Sporting News, although it's not the publication it used to be. They have him going number 28 to the Golden State Warriors. Oh, please let that happen. Please let that happen. Please let that happen. But who are the top centers in the draft? And where will they go? So if you think about it, I just had it right here. There's a kid from Duke.
Yep.
In fact, I emailed it to myself because I was going to go over their list of the ranking of the top draft picks. Chet Holmgren, the kid from Memphis. Where is this dumb list I had?
I got it for you right here.
Okay.
So you got Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga as your number 1, 20-year-old freshman.
How tall is he?
7'1", 190 pounds.
190 pounds.
So he's basically what Koloko was before this last season.
He was Christian Koloko when he looked like Steve Urkel.
Yes.
Okay.
So then number 2 on the board, you have 18-year-old freshman from Memphis, Jalen Duran, who is 6'11", 250 pounds.
Okay, that's a big boy.
And the thing is that is all muscle. Like he is probably the most jacked dude going into the draft this year, I would say.
But Chet Holmgren was probably the best offensive player of all the big men.
He's got a great wingspan, which helps him on his defense where his strength and his size is lacking. But definitely you would have to say that his footwork in the post is what's garnering a lot of attention from him.
Okay.
Number 3, you have Mark Williams from Duke. Pure 7 foot.
Legit.
245-pound, 20-year-old sophomore.
Okay.
Number 4 on the list, 7'1", 230-pound junior from Arizona, Christian Koloko.
He, to me, looks as good as everybody else out there. So the big question, will Chet Holmgren be able to put on enough weight to bang under the boards on a consistent basis? And you have to wonder about his frame. Is he going to be able to put on weight? Or will he be Thunderstick Sean Bradley?
There's a chance for the Sean Bradley comparison to definitely be in play for Chet. I feel like a lot of people are going to go ahead and do a more recent comparison to Anthony Davis, who was a center at Kentucky when he went there. Very skinny, very thin.
But he put on weight.
He put on a little weight. He had a couple of injury issues early on in his career in New Orleans, and a lot of it was related to his knees. He just couldn't bang down low with a lot of guys. Chet may have those early issues, but he has the offense. That's the only thing people are looking at. He has the offensive footwork.
I feel bad. I should have called Tommy because he's still friends with Mark Few.
Yeah.
I should have called Tommy to say, hey, Coach, I know you still have friends up in Spokane. If you want to call Mark, send Chet down to my house. If he needs to put some weight on, just have Chet come chill with me and eat everything I do. And before you know it, he'll be a legit 300-pounder.
And but the other part of that,
how much do I hate people that, Chet Holmgren, great basketball player, but he just can't put on weight. What? Who? Why can't that be me?
Well,
Rich Herrera, really good sports talk show host, but unfortunately he's a big fatty and he can't be on TV. Otherwise, he'd be anchoring the news.
And the answer to that question, Rich, and I feel like this is the most
I hate skinny people like that.
This is the most underrated part of when you talk about the NBA draft and how young these guys are coming out. Metabolism is an amazing thing when you're young.
I've never had a metabolism. I've always been this fat since I discovered beer.
When you're young, when you're active, and when you are eating a lot, your metabolism will still kill off a lot of that, undesired fat. It's going to turn that into whatever it is that it needs to turn into. So
isn't there something that I could do to have that metabolism kick up on me?
I'm not sure what it is that you could do yourself to go ahead and build the metabolism back up in your body.
I got an idea. How about if I just eat less?
That's not going to happen. Mister, I'm going to have 4 plates of hash browns at Denny's.
No, I only had 2, and then I was sick to my stomach. Like last night, we go to dinner.
Right.
So I'm up at Fire Truck Brewing.
Oh,
in Oro
okay.
Valley.
Yeah.
So I'm with some really nice people. My wife's with me, and everybody orders salads. First person, what do you have? I'll have the taco salad. What do you have? I'll have the steak salad. I'll have this salad. Liz orders a salad. Everybody's having salad. Somebody actually ordered a salad, and then they looked at me and they said, I don't think Rich Herrera's going to eat a salad. And he looked at me and was going to go, I think I'm going to get a burger. And he goes, okay. And everybody else ate salad except for me.
I
was the biggest person there.
We literally had this discussion earlier in the week where you said you don't eat enough vegetables. And I told you lettuce counts as a vegetable. So long as you have the salad, you'll have your vegetable for the day. And you chose not to.
No. It's not fun.
Well, no, it's not fun.
But why can't I have the metabolism of Chet Holmgren? That's not fair.
I can't.
Nobody's ever. Hey, you know what? Let's take a look. Let's break down Rich Herrera and his possibilities and to see what kind of production he'll have at the next level. Well, that guy's so fat he can barely touch his shoes. He's got no shot at the next level. Let's take a look at Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren was so skinny he's going to get blown away in a big gust of wind. Why can't we just have these two cross genetically? Or maybe you should have Chet Holmgren go eat with Rich Herrera. Then he'll put on so much weight at Waffle House and Denny's, he'll be able to hang and bang with Draymond Green.
Now, Rich, here's the thing.
I should be an NBA dietitian.
In the NBA draft?
Chet, this morning, good morning. We're going to go to Waffle House and have triple hash browns and get an extra pancake. Make sure you put chocolate chips on top of it.
In the NBA draft, absolutely, you're going to go ahead and get reamed for your pre-draft analysis. In the NFL, the big word that's going to be put on your NFL draft board list, space eater.
I am a space eater. You know what? God bless you, Dragon Ball. I can now feel better about myself.
In the NFL, you'd be an amazing nose tackle. In the NBA, there's just not a lot of spaces available for large, round men in the NBA. There's no more tractor trailers going out there.
Or Charles Barkley.
Well, even then, Charles wasn't necessarily that fat. I mean, he was thick, but I don't think he was fat.
Darn it. You know what?
Robert Tractor Trailer, though, he was a big fella.
I'm telling you. And I'm sure Tommy's got to know him.
He just got a grad transfer to come from Gonzaga to go and play for the U of A.
I'm telling you, if you want me to help Chet, I will help him put on weight. I could do that. I could be a dietitian for skinny people. My son wants to play football. He just can't. He's too skinny. Come see me. I'll help you out.
You be making offensive line and defensive linemen all over the state.
And I'll be doing it for the kids.
Doing it for the kids.
All right, coming up on the program, Dalen Terry. I think I need to apologize to DT. I think I need to apologize to DT. I'll tell you why coming up here in just a sec. Today's program is brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, the home for golf pros and beginners. Here's the deal. Golf, it's a fun sport. Do you know how many golf courses we have here in Tucson? You need to get out and play more golf. You really do. I need to get out and play more golf. I don't play nearly enough golf. Dragon Ball, you don't need to play golf at all because you would be so fashionably challenged unless I took you to PGA Tour Superstore and I got you some really, really, really cool Callaway shoes or Nike shoes.
I would also need some pants.
They have those there. They have for Travis Matthew, Nike, Under Armour, Puma, Black Clover. I get you a Black Clover shirt. I bet you I could take you in there and make you look like a golfer. Even with that flat cap that you wear, the newsboy cap, I could put together an outfit for you that you would actually look legitimate on a golf course.
I would look old school on the golf course with my little hat. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have +4s.
Ooh.
The knickers.
Ooh. Okay.
I wear those when I go golfing sometime. But anyway, I could walk into PGA Tour Superstore. You would look tremendous coming out. And you know what? It's probably even more because I could actually get you a golf lesson from a PGA teaching pro if I took you to the store as well. I could get you golf balls and a putter and a driver and irons and a bag. I could actually make you into a golfer by taking you to PGA Tour Superstore.
I would definitely need all the training possible to make that
They
even
can do
a
it
chance.
all there at PGA Tour Superstore because they have in-house instruction. They got golf bays. You can go in there and shoot right now. You can go in there and hit golf balls right now in the air conditioning. It's raining right now. My wife said at the house, if you want, you can go hit golf balls right now inside the air conditioning at PGA Tour Superstore. And while you're there, you could talk to the custom club fitters. You could find everything you need to golf, whether it's shoes, golf balls, drivers, clothes. They got the biggest selection of everything in Southern Arizona. That's why it's called PGA Tour Superstore. Check them out, Oracle and Limberlost. And by the way, the Rich Herrera special, $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250 or more. You don't need a coupon. You just need to mention Rich Herrera, Wildcats Radio 1290, and you get that special discount only at PGA Tour Superstore located at Oracle and Limberlost. Coming up, why do I need to apologize to Dale and Terry? I'll tell you that next year at 1290.
This is David O'Mata, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 4:43. The countdown officially is at 17 minutes before the top of the hour NBA draft begins, with Arizona guards Ben Mathurin, Dalen Terry, and center Christian Koloko all looking to have their names called in today's first round. And the Suns are now looking to be very motivated for a sign-and-trade deal with center DeAndre Ayton, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. And the matchup has been set for the 2022 Men's College World Series as the Ole Miss Rebels shut the Arkansas Razorbacks out and will face off with Oklahoma in the final. And one of the first stars in the early days of professional football has passed away as Pro Football Hall of Famer Hugh McElhenney has died. He was 93 years old. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera Radio Show, Wildcats Radio 1290. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Rich Herrera. My date of birth is, might as well just help somebody steal my identity.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with how much of this information you want to put out there.
I'm 38 years old.
Really?
Yeah. There, I didn't give away my birthday.
That's one way of doing it. That's one way of doing it.
That is Dragon Ball. That's his actual government name. It's not his, like, you know, there's McLovin from Superbad, and then on his license. Show everybody your license.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
Come on, show me your license. Hold it up.
No.
Dragon Ball. Are you gonna show everybody your Dragon Ball license?
Hold on, let me see what I can figure out here.
No, don't do. I'm not gonna let you give away your identity on YouTube. But if you guys get it, I get half. That's why I love at the very beginning of Twitter, which is garbage.
I got my GameStop Pro card.
Does it have your name on it?
No.
Does it have any identification?
No.
Can I show it?
Yeah. Still a GameStop Pro, baby.
What do you have to do to be a GameStop Pro?
You just pay the yearly subscription fee.
Oh, like I'm a Lids VIP.
Yeah.
You spend $20 and you get a discount on the
It's
house.
basically just that.
What was I going to talk to you about?
You got to apologize.
Oh, no. I'm going to apologize to DT, but you had a breaking story. You had a Woj story.
Yes.
What did he say?
That the Suns now appear to be very motivated to do a sign-and-trade deal with DeAndre Ayton.
Hello, I could have told you that after the NBA playoffs when the coach didn't talk to DeAndre Ayton for 2 days afterwards. Didn't I tell you? You can go back and watch that show or listen to that show. I told you that they left with such a bad taste in their mouth, and DeAndre Ayton was so frustrated at the fact that Monty didn't go talk to him afterwards. And he goes, yeah, I haven't talked to him for a couple days. Like, dude, you realize you're losing him. You're losing DeAndre Ayton. What's wrong with you? You got to at least go in there and talk to the man.
All his teammates say they want him back.
How do you repair that relationship with the coach?
With the general manager, too, because the general manager has already stated that they don't really see Ayton being worth a max contract.
No. And, well, the writing was on the wall because they didn't give the max contract going into the season, and he was mad about that. And then you leave him twisting in the wind after you get eliminated. Who beat him?
The Mavericks.
The Mavericks. When the Mavericks beat him, you left him twisting in the wind. Of course he's going to look for a sign and trade because there's no way you bring him back. That's the part where I think we overestimate how much a coach really means X's and O's.
Yep.
I think we really, really do, because all of us are like, well, why can't I be an NBA head coach? Why can't I manage a Major League Baseball game? I talk with Brett Boone all the time. By the way, Booney, he hasn't called me during the show today. This is like the first time in forever.
And now you jinxed it. Guarantee you he calls you in like the 5:15 mark.
Now, he called me this morning. He was playing in a golf tournament.
If it ends early, he's going to call you. It's going to be like about 5:15. Because he's still out in California. Isn't he?
He's in San Diego playing in a golf tournament.
Right. Okay. So it's not like he's like 3 hours ahead of us right now. So you might get away with it, but I guarantee
that's why
you.
My son called me this morning at what time did he call me? 4:30,
like 4:30, 3 o'clock in the morning or something. As you keep saying.
So I keep my phone on, and I'm sick and twisted about that. I leave my phone on all the time. I should turn it off at night, but I leave it on. For my emergency contacts. So he called me this morning at 4:30. Hey, Dad, what are you doing? Sleeping. It's 4:30 in the morning. Oh, I just wanted to call and tell you I love you. All right, I can't get mad at that. So let me go to DeAndre, and then I'm going to tell you why I need to apologize to DT. So for DeAndre Ayton, it's the key to coaching. I think I figured this out after 28 years of doing sports talk radio. It's not so much the X's and O's. It's your relationships with the Jims and Joes. Why is Steve Kerr the best coach in the NBA? Because he knows how to get through and communicate and motivate and keep accountable a personality like Steph Curry and a personality like Klay Thompson and a personality like Jordan Poole and a personality like Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala. All of these guys are all strength in numbers. All of these guys buy into what Steve Kerr says, but Steve Kerr has to know you talk to everybody, you treat everybody differently. That's what a great coach does, and that's why when I saw that whole story with DeAndre Ayton not being talked to after the finals, you cannot let your star center who doesn't have a contract, who is mad coming into the season, walk out that building without at least standing there going, hey, bro, we'll talk tomorrow, giving him a hug or just doing something. It just doesn't work that way. And the fact that you let him twist out there in the wind, there's no way to repair that. So you better hope somebody wants to sign and trade for him tonight, because if not, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. You can't have him come back. His nose is so out of joint. The chip on his shoulder is going to be so huge, and I put it right there on the management of the Phoenix Suns, because you let him walk out and you didn't talk to him. It's kind of like you're fighting with your brother, or even you're fighting with your brother-in-law. He walks out that door and he's still mad at you. You don't repair that relationship, because nobody knows how to come back and save face. That's why sons and fathers and mothers and daughters will go years without talking to each other, because if you walk out at that moment and you don't repair that relationship and she walks out that door, how do you come back and have that relationship? Because I'm too embarrassed to pick up the phone and call, and so are you. Before you know it, it's 5 years and nobody's talked to each other. Way to go, Suns. That's about as bad as that letter that you sent out to everybody apologizing because you suck.
A lot of it is a lot of apologies are needed across the board. I mean, again, as soon as he hit 38, I think it was, Chris Paul suddenly decided to play his age, and nobody else could hit a shot. And there was a lot of apologies that need to be made by the Suns.
One of them is you should apologize to DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
You're the organization. You need to. He could be mad. He could walk away mad and frustrated, but you got to talk to him. You can't just let it be so awkward that you didn't talk to him for 48 hours afterwards, because all you're doing is letting all that scar tissue build up. And I guess it's gotten so big now, you can't break through that scar tissue, can you?
And as far as we know, I mean, who knows? They may still have not been talking to him.
No, absolutely. All right, here's what we're going to tell you. They are about 8 minutes away. How much time do they have in between picks? 10 minutes?
I want to say for the first round of the NBA draft, I think it's about 8.
Yeah, I think so.
They've shortened it up quite a bit since
they're having all the players walk out now.
Also, Paulo Banchero's suit is maybe the nastiest looking thing I've seen in a long time. I can't tell if those
is that good or bad?
No, it's bad, because I can't tell if he's got like little things like sewn into it.
He does. He has little things, and they're like dangly little things.
Yeah, like little
they're
like
silver.
Like silver.
Yeah, it's purple. He said he wore that. He's from Seattle, didn't go to UW. So just as a shout out to his folks, he told this to Richard Jefferson, just as a shout out, he's wearing purple today for Seattle.
Right. I don't know what to say about that, but it's just the things that are hanging off the suit. I don't like that.
Right.
That looks
and
really
now they're having all the
gaudy.
players that they've had in the that are going to be in the green room tonight. Or actually, they're bringing them out, and I guess they're going to be out in front of everybody.
Yeah, no,
the way
it's
this
going to
is
be
set up.
the way that they've been doing it now with the quote unquote green room. It's really just in essence, it's the the floor of the auditorium, basically.
Right. It's like you're at a Vegas show, and where the audience sits in front
In front of the stage.
in front of the stage. So,
Meanwhile, you have like actual stands going up into the rafters,
and that's where you and I would sit.
me and you would sit there.
Right.
Yeah.
And watch all of them. I wonder if they'll have snacks and food.
I would imagine they probably got some concessions going because it's in a stadium. So
No. Would they have snacks and food where I can, if I'm sitting down there in the green room, will Jack Murphy be able to sit down there and eat tonight?
Oh,
We got to get Murph on next week.
I would imagine because again, you already see there's some drinks on the tables there, so I'd imagine there's probably some snacks.
How come he didn't invite me? Ben should have invited me. I would have been a lot of fun.
Man, that's a bright suit. I'm sorry, it's just the
Eason
bright
from LSU is wearing a
bright green lime suit, and it's distracting. But
it's the color of, and I'm not making fun of him. It's the color of the suit that Jim Carrey wore in Batman.
yes, it's the Riddler suit.
All right.
Absolutely, it's a Riddler
So
suit.
they're all walking out. We're waiting for Ben Matherin. Are they walking out by alphabetical order?
It might be alphabetical order because you just had. It's just Hardy right now. I think Green was the one that just came out before him.
All right, so it's by alphabet. It's alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have walked out, done the Ric Flair walk.
Oh no, yeah. So now it's the H's. So it's still Chet Holmgren just coming out. The man whose metabolism you wish you had.
Yeah,
That being said, his dad's also very skinny too.
yeah. I'm telling you, he should.
It might be a genetics thing.
He could have come and hung out with us. Hey, you want ice cream? You want ice cream at 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, I don't know if they would have been. I don't think that's the thing. You
Hey,
talk
Chet.
about being a dietitian. I don't think they would allow that because it's like, no, we want him to build muscle. We
Hey,
don't
Chet.
want him to.
No, he needs to put on weight. Hey, Chet, come here, bro. Hey, I want to say hi. Thank you so much. Hey, by the way, have you ever seen there's this amazing place we have in Tucson? It's called Golden Corral.
That's gonna get him some.
Or
big pounds
I
there.
introduced him to one of my
Yes.
professional eaters, like Katina eats kilos.
No, absolutely not. You don't want to do that.
I think that's what I should do. All right, coming
No.
up on the program, I will tell you, I apologize. I didn't have enough time to get to this. So right here.
There he is.
Okay, here's Benedict Matthew coming
That's
out with
actually
his
a nice
mom.
suit.
Dude, he looks sharp.
That is a nice
He's
suit.
got a red suit on, red paisley velvet suit with a black T-shirt underneath, and I believe that's his mom and his sister.
Yep.
Oh, see, I wouldn't want. if I don't get to go out there and be introduced to the mom and sister, I'm not going. Jack Murphy's sitting at the table. Dude, I would have just totally walked out. I would have made up a belt for him.
Oh,
and hold,
no,
and
you
hold
can't
it up.
do that.
Oh,
No,
yeah, I
no,
would have
no,
been.
no.
I would have been cool.
At that point, you might as well just have him wear that, though. I mean, like, there's enough chains and ice going on with these guys. I would have bet that somebody would have been walking out with a championship belt.
All right. Coming up in the program, I'm going to tell you why I need to apologize to Dale and Terry. We'll go over the biggest things of the day. And we had a great conversation with Reggie Geary. I want to play that for you as well. All that coming up here at 1290. Let the draft begin. The 2022 NBA draft. Last time we heard first round, can you get me that soundbite? This is what everybody who has ever shown any type of athletic ability, anybody who's ever played AAU basketball, anybody who's ever played high school basketball, anybody who's ever played college basketball, all dreamed of a day like today and dreamed of a moment like this when Adam Silver would call out your name.
With the first pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton from Nassau, Bahamas, and the University of Arizona.
Everybody who's ever picked up a basketball, put on a jersey, played, in the back of your mind, you dreamed. Whether you were good enough or not, everybody's dreamed of that opportunity to have Adam Silver call out your name. You probably said it to yourself by yourself with nobody else around. With the number one pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Dragon Ball, University of Dragon Ball.
The Celtics.
I don't like the Celtics.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you.
Oh, we make you a warrior?
Oh, I'll be a Sun. I'm a Suns fan.
All right. With the number 838th pick in the 2025 NBA draft,
Surprised I made it up to the 850s.
the Phoenix Suns take Dragon Ball. Who the hell's Dragon Ball?
That's the worst one ever. Like, that's the worst nightmare situation where you get your name called and they're like, Who? I feel like there's
With the first round pick of the 2022 draft, the Phoenix Suns take Dragon Ball, Northern Arizona University. Is this real?
I feel like there's only been two picks where legitimately even the person who read it off were like, what in the world is this? This has to be a joke. The first one that comes to mind was the New York Jets first round pick in 1987. Fullback? Oh, no. Roger Vick. The other one?
Right.
With the first pick in the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Anthony Bennett. Whoa! Those are the only two I could ever think of where everyone's like, what? This can't be real.
Well, okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. But now that the draft is going, is anybody on the clock yet? I don't think so.
No, they're still doing the opening
They're still doing
ceremonies
the
here.
opening where Adam Silver's flapping his gums. I'm not a big fan of his.
Love those Boston fans and their emotion.
I'm just going to be quiet because
Right.
since we are now YouTube stars.
Yes.
By the way, what's it take to be a YouTube star? More than 5 people watching this?
More than 5 people and a lack of any sense of free time.
Who said this the other day? Jennifer Aniston said social influencers are nobody. She said something like that the other day.
I wouldn't.
Like I saw this story about this girl on TikTok who resembles me quite a bit. And she was mad because they wouldn't let her ride a horse because she was too big.
Yep.
And I'm like, why is this a story? Because she's a social media influencer. Anyway, don't stop taking me down your rabbit hole.
I'm out.
I need to apologize to Dalen Terry. That's what I'm going to tell everybody in Tucson. Mark my words right now. NBA draft is beginning. Let me apologize to Dalen Terry for not immediately jumping onto his bandwagon. He's having a big party tonight in Phoenix with his friends and family. You know what? Dalen Terry believed in himself more than any of the rest of us. Dalen Terry knew that he was ready to make this jump into the next round. He said, listen, I'm going to stick my toe in the water, and I'm going to see what happens. And I said, you know what? That's great. Dalen, go do that because they're going to give you feedback and tell you what you need to improve on, what you need to work on. My fault? Maybe it's everybody's fault because nobody saw what we saw. I don't think that the coaching staff, I don't think Tommy Lloyd thought that Dalen Terry's draft stock was going to jump as high as it did, as quickly as it did. Dalen Terry's a player. We knew that. Dalen Terry can flat out play. Everybody knows that. And Dalen Terry went into the NBA workouts, and he impressed everybody. And the fact that I didn't see it, shame on me and everybody else who didn't immediately go, you know what, he's ready to go. Because the rest of us were saying here, well, we'll see, maybe, I don't know. Stick your toe in the water and see if you're good enough. And then they're going to tell you what you need to improve on. Then you come back to the Arizona Wildcats. Now, part of that was me probably being selfish because I just didn't want to see the kid go. I wanted him to come back for one more year because he would have been the star on next year's Arizona basketball team and could have led them to another Pac-12 championship, another number 1 seed, and probably further than the Sweet 16. That's the kind of potential he had in his game. Without deferring to Ben Mathurin as much as he did, and he was great for assists, and he was locked down on defense, and if he would have developed a little bit more of his offense because he would have been a focal point of it, would he be a top 15, 16 pick? Yeah. But he went to the NBA Combines and did all of that on his own. He went to the NBA Combines, and they looked at his measurables like, holy cow, this guy's better than we thought. He went through their version of the Underwear Olympics, and they all walked away and go like, dude, this guy's legit. We can't teach that kind of wingspan. We can't teach any of this. And again, our view of Dalen Terry and under Sean Miller, I preached it a little bit, but probably not enough. That Dalen Terry was one of the younger freshmen in the Pac-12 2 years ago. He was just a baby. And then you saw how much he jumped from 1 year to 2 year. I'm thinking third year, you know what? He was already ready to go. And if he gets taken as high as he looks like he's going to get taken, then all of us need to say, hey, Dalen, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't realize what I had in front of me, and maybe I should have been talking about you like, hey, we talked about Ben Mathurin. He's a lottery pick. We should have been talking about Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry, listen, look what Dalen Terry can do in the backcourt. That's an NBA first-rounder. And none of us recognized that at the time when we watched him. Maybe it was the intangibles. Maybe it was the measurables that blew scouts away. And again, in the NBA, Dragon Ball, I'll tell you this. The NBA is all about projections because these kids are so young. I don't know how good they are because they're 19 years old. I don't know how good they are because they're coming from Europe. It's all about projections. In Major League Baseball, you either go for the highest ceiling you can and you get a high school player, or you go for the most sure thing and you get a college player. That's why a lot of college pitchers get taken so high because they might not have that ceiling, but I know where their basement is and I know what I'm going to get. I got a better chance of figuring out whether you're going to play in the big leagues at the age of 20 than I do at 17. All right, number 1 pick is in.
Paulo Banchero, forward from Duke.
Will be going to Disney World.
He's going to the Magic.
He's going to the Orlando Magic. He'll be going to Disney World. He'll get a season pass. He'll probably get like a VIP, like he gets one of those girls in the plaid skirts walking around so he doesn't have to wait in line.
That's the same thing they did with Shaq when he was drafted in 92.
Yeah. So he's going to go number 1. And by the way, that's kind of a little bit of an upset right now. Now, this is what you were talking about yesterday, Dragon Ball. This is what you're talking about. My mock drafts are about as good as this right here, right?
Yep.
This is my mock draft. That's how good it is because it's only good until right now.
Yep.
Because now all the other things that people that put together mock drafts don't understand, what are the needs of the club? What are the financial concerns? What contracts are expiring? What guys do they want to move? What do they want to do? All the other things that go on outside of the talent evaluation now come into play. Who was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick?
So the consensus favorite going into the draft from the betting wizards and whatnot was Jabari Smith Jr., a forward from Auburn. He was projected to be the top pick in the draft, but this one makes sense because the Magic have already got a lot of really big guys. You've already got Bol, you've got Mo Bamba still on the team. So you really needed a guy who was going to be able to work out on the wings, be kind of a stretch four, and a lot of athleticism here. He's going to work with Jalen Suggs on the pick and roll, him and Cole Anthony as well. Very good selection. Very good selection for the Magic. It'll be interesting to see what he does. I don't like the Ben Simmons comparison that he's been getting only because this kid can shoot. This kid can hit a jump shot. But, I mean, again, now, like you said, though, this is where everything kind of gets thrown out of the window now. Now that Jabari Smith Jr. is still on the board at number 2, now you're going to have to go and see where the rest of the board starts to measure out to.
And I told you, I've been inside. I haven't been in an NBA war room, but I've been inside the war room in Major League Baseball, and the guy who's going to make the pick has five cards in his hands, and they're ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the second somebody in his set of cards gets taken, he pulls that out, puts it aside. They put one more in there, reshuffle them in their preferred draft status, and whoever's sitting on top, okay, that's who we're going to take next. Because in the 8 minutes, it's not like draft day where you've got forever, 8 minutes on the clock, but it takes 35 minutes of screen time to figure out who you want next. And by the way, if you're standing there screaming and yelling at that point, who we should take, you're not prepared, and you didn't do a very good job getting ready for the draft. It's not like that.
Nope.
It's a business, and you better know who you're taking. And if this guy comes off the board, here's who we're jumping in with next. So Banchero goes to the Orlando Magic. He'll still wear blue, just like he did at Duke, right?
Still wear blue, still. I'm trying to think, is this the first Duke Blue Devil to go number 1 overall?
I don't. I don't know. I'll let you look that up for me.
Well,
what do you got?
Okay, I'm getting NFL draft for some reason. I don't know why I'm getting that.
I'm trying to think who would have been there. I'm going through all their great players.
Well, because
Zion?
Oh, no, that's true. Zion would have been number 1.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so this would be at least the second.
Yeah.
Because I know Shane Battier didn't go number 1 overall.
Battier didn't go number 1.
I know Leitner didn't go
Leighton
number 1.
didn't go 1.
Grant Hill.
I don't think Grant Hill went 1. All right. Anyway, it's you look that up because I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can see Jack Murphy sitting there. I wonder if Jack Murphy's got on a really sweet suit.
Yeah, no, Grant Hill was drafted 3rd. That was Glenn Robinson went number 1 that year.
Okay. Anyway, so
Kyrie Irving, there it is, right there.
Number 1,
Elton Brand, Kyrie Irving, Zion, and Paulo.
I almost forget that Kyrie.
I forget Elton Brand went to Duke.
No, I knew Elton Brand went. Kyrie.
He was pretty much halfway to what Shaedon Sharpe is this year. Because again, Kyrie didn't play much his 1 year at Duke because of injuries. Shaedon Sharpe didn't play at all because of some kind of decision making that was made behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm not sure what, but he just decided he wasn't going to play.
All right. NBA draft going on. Where will the 3 Wildcats go? Stay on 1290. As soon as we're done, Zach Gelb will take over. And then after that, it will be JR Sports Brief. And then after that, it'll be Rich Herrera on the network tonight. Coming up, big questions, big things of the day. What do we call it?
The big story.
Big story. That's next on 1290. All right, the first 2 picks are official. It goes...
Paulo Banchero, number 1.
Banchero goes to...
The Orlando Magic.
Number 2, Chet Holmgren goes to the...
Oklahoma City Thunder.
And now Jabari Smith Jr., who was projected as number 1, looks like he's going to go to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, he's been on the phone right now with somebody on his table.
But wait a minute. You remember the Drew Rosenhaus where he called his own player just to make it look like he was getting a phone call?
He was getting the phone call.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, a lot of that, I don't think that's happening anymore. But I wouldn't put it past some of these guys to go,
bro, what are you doing? I'm waiting to get drafted. Oh, I just want to see what's going on. Watch on TV. Bro, I see you on TV. Wave at me.
Also, I just want to say, though, how lucky could the Houston Rockets possibly be in this position? They were the worst team in the league last year, where they were projected to be the winner of the lottery, and now the consensus number 1 pick
falls into their lap.
Yeah, by the betting sites is going to fall to them at 3. They may have just sweated out a bullet.
But would they have been upset if they got Banchero?
Well, they might not have taken Banchero. I mean, that's also the question. It's like, maybe this is the guy they wanted on their draft board. Who
the entire
knows?
time, and they're like, yes, you guys are idiots. You let him fall to 3. Y'all take it. I'll take it. All right, here comes the commissioner. All right, so real quick, Cats are on the clock. Benedict Matthew projected as a number 6. We'll see where he goes. First 3 are in. Again, it's a bittersweet day around Tucson. We want to wish all these guys nothing but the best and good luck. But just would have loved to see him play one more year. One more year. Game 4 went to the Avs. I got ripped off in the sneak peek of Elvis. I'm not going to go tonight. I know it kind of surprises you, Dragon Ball, but I got to work tonight for Amy Lawrence.
Well, I was going to say, you didn't do the sneak peek for Top Gun either.
No, because I promised my son I wouldn't go see it with him.
Right.
You know what, though? If you want a sneak peek of all the greatest golf equipment that's out there right now for this golf season, you should go to PGA Tour Superstore, located at Oracle and Limberlost. PGA Tour Superstore has the largest selection of golf equipment in southern Arizona. If you're looking for drivers from Ping, Callaway, TaylorMade, Cobra, if you're looking for putters, if you're looking for anything to improve your golf game. The thing is, equipment is sometimes a little intimidating. That's why they got a great staff and club fitters right there on site. You can actually hit the club that you're thinking about buying and see whether you like it or not. And by the way, they've got a huge selection of pre-owned golf clubs. So maybe I went out and I got that new Ignite driver and I bought it somewhere else and I didn't like it. And I spent all that money and I'm going to go back to my old one. I can't control this. Well, somebody spent a bunch of money on that brand new technology, didn't like it, didn't use it. They probably swung it once and just hit somebody's house and shattered 3 windows and said, I'm never going to try that again. Well, you could go in there and get a great deal on some previously owned clubs. They have a full selection of that at PGA Tour Superstore. It is a golfer's paradise right on Oracle and Limberlost. And here's a great thing. Roll in right now. Mention Wildcats Radio 1290. Mention the Rich Herrera Show. You get $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250 or more. Only at PGA Tour Superstore, Oracle and Limberlost. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore, home for golf pros and beginners just like me. Coming up, we sat down with Reggie Gary a little bit earlier today. It was fascinating. It was the conversation so good. I'm using it tonight on CBS Sports Radio on my national show. You'll want to hear what Reggie said next.